Dan, when you look at this matchup, Cowboys offense, Browns defense, there's a lot to be concerned about. What concerns you the most?
Just all the weapons that the Cowboys have. This is a contrast in styles and offenses, right? The Browns love to go big personnel, use tight ends, all sorts of things like that. The Cowboys, they are an 11 personnel team. They'll have 3 wide receivers out there, and they have some good ones. Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb is off to a great start. There's some really strong weapons there in that passing game, and we know how vulnerable the Browns have been to the pass. I mean, Washington, who frankly is not very good offensively, had a lot of space to work last week, and that's really where you start. And then you just throw in Ezekiel Elliott, who we all know Ezekiel Elliott very well. We all know the type of runner he is, and so this is going to be a real test for that front four against the run as well. If Dallas hits a couple big plays and then they start handing the ball to Zeke, that's when things can get out of hand a little bit.
The other thing is that, no disrespect to Joe Burrow or Haskins, but Dak Prescott definitely a step up from the last 2 weeks as far as quarterback goes.
Yeah, he's going to be the best quarterback that they've faced since Lamar Jackson, obviously, and he's having a nice season. He's thrown, the numbers aren't necessarily flowing off the page from a touchdown, 5 touchdowns, a couple interceptions, but his yardage is up there, completion percentage is high. This is a really good quarterback, and even though the Cowboys haven't been able to come to an agreement and a long-term contract with him, I'm sure he's a guy that they want behind center for a long time because he can really hurt you.
The other thing that's kind of interesting is, one of their leading receivers was their 4th receiver, Ced Wilson, and they also have a tight end who, the Browns always have trouble with tight ends, and Dalton Schultz is not very well known, but I have a feeling come Sunday, Browns fans are going to know who that tight end is for the Cowboys.
They always do. Tight ends, like you said, just absolutely kill the Browns. And, that's sort of what the Cowboys do well, right? Even though they've never been able to necessarily build up that defense to where they want it, they always seem to be able to uncover these weapons for their quarterbacks and have guys that can make big plays. And it could cause some problems for the Browns. The key is going to be that pass rush. That front four for the Browns needs to absolutely dominate this football game.
The other thing that we've heard is the Cowboys are trying to get their screen game going with Ezekiel Elliott, and my guess would be that's the counter to letting the Browns get after Dak Prescott a little bit. So that's going to put pressure on the Browns tackling.
For sure, and that's another thing that's always been an issue with the Browns defense is tackling. But honestly, if I'm the Browns and I feel comfortable that I can make those tackles in space, I'm happy with the Cowboys just screening away and not going after big chunks of yardage because I don't want my secondary to get tested over and over again, especially, if Denzel Ward isn't 100%. You don't know what Greedy Williams is going to do. I still think this is a secondary that is not healthy, and even when they are healthy, is still a little questionable.
The other thing is the size of those targets. Cooper, you mentioned, is not really tall. Gallup and CeeDee Lamb, both big athletic targets, which physical mismatches exist there.
Right, and then they've sort of built that receiving core like you want to. People say you want to kind of build it like a basketball team. You want to have some small, shifty guys, some big guys that can go get the football, and they've really sort of built that variety with those weapons for Dak Prescott.